All you got to do is
we're a team, so everybody has a role. But the blessing that I have is I get to speak about and to our ambassador families. A couple things I just wanted, there are 3 different families I'd like to recognize today. And we have one family here who are going to come up and speak with us. But first of all, I wanted to recognize the Van Dyke family. I'm not sure if they're here today. Ken and Margie. There they are, waving.
Get them come forward.
This is kind of a surprise to you guys. The Van Dyke family lost their son, Nick, to cancer. That's not something that they spend a lot of time talking about. They recognize it and feel it in their hearts, and I know that they're healing right now. What they do is they make a choice to take that experience and use it to motivate them to help make a change in the lives of kids living with cancer currently. So Ken and Margie and their family have done a tremendous amount of fundraising in the Woodstock area, both for the National Ride and for Tour for Kids. So I just wanted to say thank you for taking your sadness and your sorrow and turning it into joy and contribution. And we thank you for that, and recognize Nick, their son, who is the motivation behind that. If you'd like to come up near the front, I have a little something for you once I get down off of this. The other family or person that I wanted to recognize, and I don't think they're here today, we had a young ambassador, or had an ambassador family that were in the process of joining our the ambassador program, and we lost that young boy, Jacob, to cancer before they completed that process. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about Jacob Hagen Johnson. Jacob's body succumbed to acute myelogenous leukemia around 1:30 p.m. This was just in August. Jacob was a well-centered, focused, kind, fair boy. He was able to recognize and master his emotions in ways that his dad, Bill, admitted still leave him astounded. Jacob and his family made a conscious decision the day he was diagnosed that they would follow their son in always looking for the positive, the little miracles of life. As they lived experiences, they would have the power to reduce people to much less. It was his journey, his life, Jessica said. He wanted to know everything about his condition and treatment, and he would get upset if the doctors pulled us out of the room to explain something. We would share everything with him. Even if there was only a slim chance of improvement, he would still say, it's a chance. Even as his body suffered the effects of organ failure due to his leukemia and chemotherapy treatments, Jacob kept a laser-like positive focus on returning to health. He wanted to get better so he could go home, and he made that his truth. Jessica said the choices remained Jacob's in the final days and hours. On the heavy painkillers he was reluctant to ask for, his body started shutting down. His parents said they struggled with making decisions for him due to the grogginess caused by his medications. We came back from lunch on Tuesday, and we were saying again, it's your choice, Jessica said. He pulled off his mask, and he smiled. Then she said, he slowly blinked 3 times, and they stayed shut as his spirit left his body. His body is not physically here, but his spirit always will be, Jessica said. We are so honored to have had 11 years with this amazing boy. So today we're going to ride for the Van Dyke family. We're going to ride in memory of Jacob Hagen Johnson. And then we're also going to ride for a very special little girl and her family, Miss Rachel McDonald. And she's going to come up with her mom, Melody. And the McDonald family was with us last year. And so we're delighted to have them back and hear the evolution of their story.
Good morning, everyone. I'm not really sure what to say after listening to the stories of children that have passed on. I just know it makes me, I guess I'm very blessed, and we're fortunate that Rachel's still here, and she's standing here in front of us today. Because even 2 years ago, things didn't look so well. So that's the first thing I'd like to say. I'm not really sure where to start off, but I guess the best way to do is just give a little bit of a story on Rachel's journey with childhood cancer. Hers started 2 years ago in August of 2008. She started experiencing severe headaches, which developed into non-stop vomiting and feelings that her head was going to explode. It took numerous trips to the emerge department before the CT scan was done. When that was done, they found a large tumor that was in her brain with a cyst attached to it. We were rushed up to London Hospital, and that night they did an emergency operation to relieve the pressure on her brain. A week and a half after that, she underwent a 13-hour surgery to remove the tumor and the cyst. Now, we were very fortunate again because they originally thought they could only take about 50% of the tumor, but when they went in, the surgeon's hands went really well, and they were able to get 100% of that tumor that was sitting on her brainstem. So, and it is still sitting that way because we just had a MRI. She goes every 3 months for MRIs, and her last MRI on August 27th was all clear. There is no sign of that tumor. She is still in remission. That tumor is gone. So that was a praise God for sure. Since that time, it's been a whirlwind 2 years of just busy. Rachel, when they first found the tumor, she was hospitalized 2 months straight. We didn't come home at all. So that first night we went in on August 16th, which was actually 3 days after her 8th birthday. We were there for about 2 months straight. When we did make it home, it was just for occasional days here and there. She started 6 weeks of radiation therapy with 14 months of chemotherapy to follow that. And pretty well, what can go wrong with a little body can go wrong. When she first became sick, she really couldn't eat very well at all. And she went down to 30 pounds, and she was literally skin and bones. It was a pretty scary sight to see. Thankfully now she's gone up to about 49 pounds, so we're thankful for that as well. She's had, of course, balance and mobility problems, and that's why we have the walker here. But we're thankful for that because in the beginning she couldn't walk at all. So she's gone from not walking to being here and even dancing with Ben the Bear. So we are, like I said, very fortunate. She's had hearing problems. She has memory problems now. She's gone from a straight A student to someone that has a little bit of difficulty in school, but she still keeps plugging away. She's a very strong little girl, and she reminds me every day that no matter what life throws at me, I can do it. I can do it. If Rachel can do it, so can I. And I think everybody else can too. She amazes me. She's the light of my life, and I'm so thankful that she's here and that we're blessed to have her. There's still a lot to happen. Like she's maybe done her radiation, she may be done her chemo, but because she was so young when she underwent treatment, a lot of things have been affected, but we will deal with that. She still has assessments to be done for hearing because she has hearing problems. Her growth, she suffers from growth hormone deficiency, so we'll be starting growth hormones probably very shortly, which it will be determined with the endocrinologist when we see him at the end of September how long that will be for. And every day is a struggle. There's different things that happen. She can get sick. She feels not well at school, so she has to come home. And I've had people ask me if it's worth it. Well, how do you answer that? How do you answer that? Is it worth it? Of course it's worth it. It's worth it to have hugs and kisses, her beautiful smile. It's worth it for all those things. It's worth it to see her play again with Emily. It's worth it to see her talking with her friends. It's worth it to get my little snuggles at night. All of that is worth it, and I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that that worth it stays that way. I truly believe Rachel's standing here today for two reasons. The first one is by the grace of God. We had, our family and friends went together, and there was a prayer train going that literally spread across the world. We had people praying everywhere. We had people contacting us from Australia and Germany and everywhere, praying for her. And I truly believe that's a big reason she's standing here today. Another reason is childhood cancer research. So much research has been done. It's scary to even think that 10 years ago, if she had been diagnosed, she may not be standing here. The percentage of childhood cancer survivors 10 years ago even was a lot lower than it is now. Now it is 80%. And Rachel, thank you, is in that 80% right now, and I'm very thankful for that as well. So we have a lot to be thankful for, and I'm thankful to every one of you here. You're here for a reason, you're here for a purpose, and all of us together make a big difference. We've been trying to help as much as we can. We do little fundraisers here and there. For example, last night we did a fundraising bake sale at our local Legion here in Woodstock. So we brought the donation with us this morning. It may not be a lot of money, but you know what? Those little bit, not a lot of money, they all add up. And they all add up to look at all the money that the Coast to Coast Against Cancer Foundation and this year's National Kids Cancer Ride has accumulated over the years. So thank you to everyone, and have a good ride. Let's get it on the way.